Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're interested in vocal technique, pick up my ebook called Becoming a Natural Singer, or if you want one-on-one help, book a lesson through my website or drop me an email, links in the description. So I had a student recently, first lesson, and like many first lesson students, we are covering keeping the vocal cords together, keeping the vocal cords connected as we go through our range. And after the lesson, we made progress during the lesson, and after the lesson he dropped me an email asking this, which kind of struck a chord with me and brought back some memories. And I'll just briefly read through part of this email. What's the point in even labelling the passaggio to be from E, E4 to F sharp 4 when the chords are going to stretch and lengthen anyway on every note? Also, after I realised that I can vocalise on heavy compression through E4 to F sharp 4, it doesn't make sense anymore why the passaggio is even a thing. When we look at information on the internet, we get this sense, when we don't really know what we're doing, we find information about the bridge, about the passaggio, and we get this sense of a thing we've got to somehow navigate through, we've got to find our way through it. But the reality is, and this email highlights that well, is that when we navigate through the bridge properly, the terminology starts to break down. And what we discover is, well, I just keep the chords together and I let them stretch and I keep the larynx stable. And if I do that, I will, quote unquote, bridge successfully. And what we find more and more as we get better is that the people that have real trouble with their bridge are the people that understand technique the least, and the people that don't seem to have a bridge at all understand technique the best. So the conundrum is, we've got certain terminology and certain understandings that are pushed by people, yet the best singers who really understand what they're doing, they don't really work within the confines of that ideology or terminology. They've got a different set of ideas and different set of boundaries in terms of what technique should or shouldn't be. So we've got to be very careful when we are labeling things and we are picking up information and we're saying to myself, right, I've got a bridge now, I've got to do something. The problem is, it insinuates that something needs to happen, and not really. The vocal cords just need to stretch. If everything else stays still, you will bridge successfully. If other things get in the way, if the vocal cords start to move around, if we start to add squeeze, if we start to let go of the chords, whatever it is, that's going to make it, quote unquote, hard to bridge. So the broader problem and the broader thing I want to get across here is that terminology and our understanding of what terminology is useful for, what it means, changes as we improve. Our understanding of terminology changes as we get better. So don't get super tied down to things that you're hearing, things that you're reading, and get really bogged down in the terminology. The best thing to do is just learn to do it well, and then let the terminology follow that, rather than trying to follow the terminology. So we let the technique lead us to understanding, and we create terms around that understanding. We don't want to let the terminology shape our understanding too much, and we get kind of trapped in it. It's very easy to get trapped in terminology rather than just getting good and then worry about explaining it later on. And the other thing I just wanted to bring up is that when we bridge, we have to understand that what people are talking about when they talk about the shift around E, F, F sharp for men, or A, B flat B for girls, what is it they're getting at? The thing is, they're not getting at directly what the singer is doing with the vocal cords. To really understand what people are talking about when we talk about bridging, really, they're talking about a subtler thing. As we go higher, we experience a shift in resonance. That's really what they're talking about. The main shift of resonance does happen in that territory. But the thing is, to get to that correct shift in resonance, we really don't want to focus on it. We want to focus on what we're doing in the vocal folds and let the resonance shift as a result of that. And this is the fundamental issue with talking about bridging for beginners and intermediates. is that it starts to get you to focus on the wrong thing. You're focusing on, right, I've got to focus a shift in resonance, feel that resonance move. No. What you got to do is do it correctly and let the resonance shift as a result of that. Very often with technique, we end up focusing on results and things that happen as a result of doing the correct coordinations rather than focusing on the coordinations. Whether it be listening to the sound too much, oh, that doesn't sound good, I've got to change the sound of it. Whether it's trying to focus on resonance too much. At the end of the day, we've got to focus on what the vocal cords are doing, getting the appropriate amount of air to hit them, and then shaping the sound. Outside of that, a lot of the other things are led to from that premise. The results, how good the sound is, where the resonance sits, all of that is a result of doing the right coordinations. Anyway, food for thought, guys. As always, subscribe, give this video a thumbs up. Let me know what you think down in the comments, and I'll catch you very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.